What is up, YouTube fitness family? Welcome back to another video. I got my boy. He's an IFBB pro, which means he's so much fucking better and cooler than me. My boy Dorian. But today we got a special video. It's for you. One of the big things that the judges told him he needs to bring up is his back. And back is one of my favorite things to train. And so what we're gonna do is actually take a look at Dorian's back and see where he actually needs to build, whether it be his lats, his spinal flexors, if it's more density, is it more X-frame? So we're gonna take a look and then we're gonna structure the training around those points of emphasis. So this will be a cool video for you guys. If you think just training back is training back, there's definitely a lot more nuance to it. So we're gonna look at his back specifically and where he needs to improve, and then we're gonna structure the training around that. All right, well this guy, as we can see, looks like a fucking action figure. So let's see, this is him really fat, so this is hilarious because he's literally
that's true actually.
He's peeled, but I'll hold this one for you. Okay, so first thing I'm seeing is we have nice inserted lats. They're not so high up that we're gonna get like that problem of like losing that density. I mean, they're not like they're not inserting down by his waist, but they're also not super high inserted. So like right in the middle, and we get a nice flare right from the bottom. The thing that I'm seeing here is just we probably need a little bit more meat on the lats themselves because he's really strong through the rear delts and through that kind of lateral head as well, which you actually can see from behind. So don't sleep on that. If you're training and you're thinking, oh, I just need to build my back, for my back poses, rear delts and that medial lateral head is so important to create that like big 3D X-frame look. So he's got a really nice small waist kind of coming in with the lats. We do have a nice amount of meat right on this spinal rector, kind of infraspinatus area, but I think the biggest thing I'm seeing is the lack of density along this top line. We're seeing a little lack of density through the trap department, and we probably like work through a little bit through the rhomboids and then kind of through what's called the teres right below the armpit, just get a little bit more pop there. But like we said, rear delts are really nice and prominent on him. So biggest points of emphasis are gonna be are for a little bit more lats. You can't have enough lats in any division, but then a little bit more through that top line, kind of the thickness up there. So this will be a fun session. Let's pull up into a back double and see where we're at there.
He can definitely be a judge because this what he just said is literally what judges told me as feedback. So maybe just a touch up of the lats a little bit because you cannot have enough lats, but my width is always good. They always said my V taper is great. My density, back density is something that I lack, especially erectors, like full spine. That's what I need to work on the most, and that's what literally he said throughout this whole thing that he says, yeah, really good, but you can definitely be a judge, bro. That's why I was laughing the whole time because literally the words that he said was literal words of the judges every time.
Well, let's fix it right now. And so like, that's why I wanted to emphasize is there's gonna be different, like training back, it's such a big muscle group that it would be as though like you were saying I train legs, but there's no focus on either quads or hamstrings. Like you could build up your quads, your hamstrings could still suck. So like you need to be really thought out when you train back. Like if you're always doing just deadlifts for back, like you're gonna miss a ton. If you're doing just pull downs or just rows, like there's so much nuance there. So let's get into the workout. I'm gonna show you exactly how I'm thinking through the session. Okay, so for our first movement pattern, I do like to start with a high to low, so pull down, especially cable. What this allows us to do is a number of things. First of all, get the lats firing right off the bat. Second of all, when you're not axial loading from the very first movement pattern, you can get the back really warmed up. You can get almost like stretch the spine a little bit before we kind of get into maybe like anything like that's more of a true row, just because then we can get the lower back, the core firing. And so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna use this grip. It's kind of a modified grip. It allows us to go slightly supinated with the hand. So it's not a true, like if we're using a lap bar and going true supination, this is kind of halfway in between. So we get to kind of scoop. And so the movement path I want you guys to follow with like a narrow grip pull down like this, it's not straight down. So a lot of people will either do this one. They'll either come straight forward and they'll keep their position forward and go here. What you're gonna do is start to tuck in and take over the biceps. The other thing that I see people do is like over lean and turn it into a row, so they come here and lean back too far. It's not a terrible movement, but you're almost turning it into a horizontal pull. What I wanna see is right in between. So I have myself set back a tiny bit. I'm gonna pull first almost straight down, and then I'm gonna drive back with the elbows, so big stretch, down and then through, opening the chest to the ceiling and exposing the lats to tension. So there's a difference between leaning and opening the chest to tension. So big ass stretch at the top, pull the chest open, drive those elbows down and in, and I wanna really try to feel the tension through that lower lat. So basically where that lat's inserting, I wanna get all the way down and dig through there. And also you're gonna get this all the way into those spinal rectors we were mentioning. You wanna get that big stretch all the way through the teres, which is that kind of where it meets right behind the armpit, down and through. Open that chest to tension, squeeze, slow eccentric load. And you see I almost lean forward. And the big misconception is when I get a big stretch, I'm losing tension in the lats. When you see me lean forward, I can maintain a slight elbow bend, so I'm actually stretching through the lats. Sure, if I go here and completely straighten the arms, the tension's gonna, and the stretch is gonna go into my biceps and a little bit of my rear delts. But you see that slight adjustment when I bend the elbows and keep that 170 degrees to the top of the rep, dig through, big squeeze, slow eccentric. Yeah, that's nice. Kind of, yep, big stretch. Pause in that stretch for me for a good like 1 second and slow that eccentric down just a hair. So drive in, squeeze, slow that eccentric down just a bit, reach forward. More, maintain slight elbow bend. You see how when you maintain that slight elbow bend, you get the stretch then happens with the lats. So reach, and then drive through. Oof. There. That's nice. And then when you get to the bottom, really focus on the eccentric right there, from there. You wanna think you're releasing tension through the lats. So you're not just letting it up slowly, you're actually thinking, okay, my elbow is the driver and I'm letting the tension out through the lat specifically.
That feels, I actually feel it like right here.
Yeah, perfect. So the only other modification I make is, like I said, in that stretch position, just try to maintain that just like 170 degrees. So when you get up to the top, go completely straighten, come here and almost like reach forward for it, like reach, like almost up and forward, and then drive down and through, open the tension, squeeze, slow eccentric. So first working set, still not like true failure, probably going like anywhere between 9 and 15 reps. So ideal hypertrophic range, it kind of like, yes, I guess I get it, it's like 8 to 20 reps is that gold standard, but like when you're adding this much tempo and this much stretch, you can even go down to like, let's say 5 to 8 reps and still be in that really good hypertrophic range because we're not training explosively. So you have to take into account, like if each rep is taking 6, 7, 8 seconds, it's gonna change the optimal rep range for hypertrophy. And then if you're just doing them like gripping and ripping them. So think more of, okay, how much is that stimulus? What is that proximity to failure? And how much am I feeling it in that target muscle group? And those are gonna be kind of your main deciding factors of how effective this movement pattern is for you. So yeah, you saw that motion, kind of like forward, drive forward.
Head, the thing I wasn't doing, like your head goes all the way here.
Yeah, you can like push that through to get even more stretch.
The problem is my shoulders, bro. I'm like, my shoulders are really stiff.
This will help you then, if you keep
you were like here. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, yeah, my shoulders. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Probably tightness through the rear delts actually. And so if you can keep opening that up through training, it's not only gonna help you build more muscle, but the more mobile we get, and then when you go to hit your poses, it's gonna look so much bigger and more open because you truly are, the tissues a lot healthier, a lot longer. We slow. Release to that, it's fucking beautiful, dude. Especially that first little part of that negative, where you can really see you're holding onto it. Right there, that's fucking sensational. That movement arc is perfect. Really good.
So fast, the blood.
Right in
there. You stretch and pump immediately goes in.
Yeah, I mean that's what's the fun thing about training like this is like you immediately are just like so much blood flow into that target.
I feel like I did like 5 sets.
Exactly.
Just from one. Yeah, no, for real.
So I think that's where junk volume actually happens, is like taking so many sets to actually even just feel what you're trying to train instead of, okay, let's be hyper-focused with the form, with the tempo, and then essentially you don't need to drive as many sets. You could do maybe 2 or 3 really hard working sets, and that would be just as much as 5, 6, 7, 8 explosive sets where the first 3 or 4 you're just trying to like actually just feel the fucking muscle group you're training.
I feel like that's the biggest problems of for people that people don't understand is like that ego part that like if you bench whatever, I'm just mentioning bench, 3 plates like this, it feels like you're stronger. But if you do it like this, they feel like they look dumb, right? If you do like slow down negative, which actually benefits you 10 times more, but people not gonna come in the gym and be like, because they feel like that doesn't look good or something. I feel that's the most like thing that people, misconception that people change all the time and like think it's this is correct or this is incorrect, which is totally opposite of that. People like to do like everything, you know, just to like look stronger.
Yeah.
Yep.
There it is. Nice, do the lats, that's beautiful.
Let's go 2 more.
Yep, you got it. Squeeze that shit. Last one. Good, up, and hold it. Hold it right there, hold it right there. 4, 3, 2, 1, good shit.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Whew. Yep. Well, I feel it since the first one. I feel it, but it's literally I feel this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So a lot of that's going to be due to the supination, but also due to that movement arc where it's like the cable goes here and then slightly back, and instead of it being a lean, it's a thoracic extension, opening the chest, dropping the shoulders, opening that back up to tension. Same way you'd hit that back relaxed in men's physique. Here, it's that same idea, is that you're not leaning. You don't do this when you're hitting a back relaxed.
Yeah.
You do this, and you open that chest up to the ceiling, proud, and you sit down on those lats.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is like that positioning is literally exactly, that's what you want to think about as your end point in most pulling movements is here, here, here is always that kind of remains constant, is opening the chest, which is called basically scapular retraction, which is then going to keep the emphasis in the back, out of the delts and out of the biceps. All right, second exercise. We are going to be on the basic seated row, dragging benches around the gym, which is my MO. What's really great about having the bench support is that we can really drive maximum stimulus with minimizing fatigue through the lower back. And so what we're gonna do is take this, strap in. If you have a Cobra grips, Versa grips, this is the way I do it. I always like let my pinky out because it'll crush me. I always feel like I'm crushing my pinky. If not, then what we're gonna do is set this bench up on probably about a 30-degree incline. We're gonna walk it back, and then we're going to basically let our chest, almost like upper chest, like nipple line, come right on the top of that. And then we're gonna turtle shell, meaning we're gonna let the shoulders almost round. And then as we pull, we're gonna drive the chest open and squeeze through the mid-back, slow eccentric load, slightly supinating the palms, meaning palms up to the ceiling. Then we're gonna reach in a neutral hands with turtle shell. You can even turn the hands to the floor if you wanna get even more stretch. And then drive chest open, squeeze that mid-back. And this is gonna absolutely fry your spinal erectors all the way up and down without having to drive a ton of top-end load. So supinate on the way out. Big stretch, turtle shell over. Drive up and squeeze.
Like higher, sit higher, like this.
Nipple line is right along the edge of the bench. There it is, right there.
There?
Perfect. And then I want you to almost turtle shell it.
Okay.
Yep, feel that huge fucking stretch.
I do,
all the way through
yeah.
here. And then drive up, pull, turn the palms up as you pull. Right there.
Spread here,
Right,
like
that's
this.
perfect. And then reach, turtle shell, and pull. Yeah, it's sensational. And if you come right here, Phil, you can literally see in the stretch how much these are actually getting lit up. It's hard to see in the contract, but you see right here as he reaches out. Look at that, they both light up right there. And that's really where we want to start to build that density. As he progresses through his set, and as he sees his body opening up more, he almost reaches for more and more stretch.
That's true.
As the forced stretch allows him to do so safely, and that's such a cool thing to see. Is like you see almost his whole back opening up more and more, him getting a little more loose and more receptive to the stimulus because he's able to get even more stretch, which is going to increase the range of motion, the more motor recruitment. So inevitably, you can use even less weight and get more total hypertrophy, stimulus, and minimizes fatigue as well. another thing to note is, see how I take those failure reps for the most stretch resistance. So I don't try to force it and pull in here just so I can get some partials here. I reach and I go as far as I can without starting to do this. Because the minute you start to collapse the chest, you're gonna start me pulling with front delt and bicep. So when I get to failure, I'm here. Just as far as my body will allow while maintaining good postural integrity, keeping it in the target muscle group. Let's drive a little bit more in and back with the elbows as opposed to high.
Like,
Yeah, that's better. And let's supinate the grip just a little bit more, so more palms up to ceiling.
okay.
Yeah, so you can really keep it.
It's just because I'm hitting
Right.
the bench on the bottom.
Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah, that's right there. You don't need to drive farther back than that.
Ah, okay.
Anything farther back than that is like you're pulling more with the arms in the back. Right there is perfect.
Got you.
Let's go more supinated. Bring the palms up all the way to the ceiling. Good. All right, now let's hit some pass failure reps. Palms stay up to the ceiling. Only pull halfway back. So keep it there. Now pull only halfway back. Keep the chest up. There it is. Now down all the way to stretch. Just keep it supinated. And then half. Right there.
Oh, fuck.
2 more. Stretch. Half. Squeeze. Come on, come on, come on. 1 more. And squeeze. Slow into the stretch and then hold the stretch. Now, slow, 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 slow. Hold that stretch for 3, 2, 1, and I go.
Okay, this one was hurtful. This one hurt definitely.
All right, so we're gonna be doing a basically chest-supported isolateral row. So I like to have at least one isolateral movement in my back day for a few reasons. So one of the main benefits of isolateral rowing is that we can actually pull heavier without taxing like either the lower back or the CNS as much, just because we can basically maximize mechanical leverage by leaning out, which I couldn't do if I was doing, let's say, a dual row, and then kind of using my body's ergonomics by leaning forward, maximizing stretch here, and then as I pull, same thing, drive that shoulder back, chest open, and then I push the elbow down, and I stretch with that like 170 degree. Remember I said don't completely straighten the arm? You see how I'm able to maintain tension through the lat? Here, it's gonna push it mostly in the rear delt and into the bicep. Do that stretch, but I'm here, and I'm reaching with the lat, and then I drive up, tuck that elbow back, almost like you're trying to elbow somebody behind you. So by isolating one side than the other, also starts to eliminate any imbalances. You can actually stretch a lot more, because if I'm not limited by the bench, I can actually reach out, lean out, expose that lat to extra tension, extra stretch, get more motor recruitment and less tax due to lower back and just overall CNS tax, which allows me to drive stimulus, but allows me to recover a lot faster. And for him, this is gonna be great for lats, but also all the way through that mid back, do that huge stretch. And I'll rip the tarp off for my second or third set so you can really see the muscles working. Either neutral or just supinated, yep.
Like this?
I'd say neutral is probably fine to start.
Okay.
And I want you to see how you're rotating now. I wanna see less rotation on the axis, and I wanna see more forward lean and then opening up. So I don't wanna see as much here. I wanna see more like keeping the body in this direction, but then leaning forward
So like,
from the waist. So I want you to straighten out first.
okay.
So pull the shoulder back, pull the shoulder back.
Oh.
And now reach forward and let this fall as well. Slight elbow bend. Slight elbow bend. You see that? You see that slight thing? Just turn your fucking lats on right there.
Yeah.
And then I want you to pull and see how you're driving the elbow out. Tuck it in a bit. Right there. Now slowly release. Down low, 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 low. Forward, forward, forward. There it is. Reach, stretch, pull it there.
Okay.
That's it right there. Nice. I like how you're not over rotating on the contraction, because a lot of people want to turn to get more contraction. I like how you're not over rotating, which will keep the emphasis in the back.
You want to say I'm a good student?
You're a great student.
Thank you, bro.
A little bit more arched back though. There it is. Yeah, always just try to remember posture correct, posture correct. It's gonna start to roll forward as you get tired. Just keep it in there.
Yeah.
Nice. That's really nice. So yeah, I just want to see a little bit more when you reach. I want you to be, you're still a little bit like almost like this. I want to see you here and then here. You're kind of out and rotated. So you want to come here, reach through the lat, slight elbow bend, scoop under, up, 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 and then drive here without over rotating. So a lot of people will try to pull and they'll do this one, like the lawnmower shit. You want to be just enough to open the chest to the ceiling, drive the elbow back and through, and what I like to call it into the pocket. So pocket, almost kind of like the pocket of your pants right here.
My feet correct? Like how we would?
Yes, you want to plant right forward to get an extra brace. Left back a little bit further. There you go.
Like that?
And I want you to push that chest. See how the first thing you're doing now is rotating? I want you to actually push forward towards the hand and move the body out just a bit.
Okay. That makes sense, yeah.
That's really, really good. Now we're in it. And just being out away from the bench like that, even though you have the bracing points, your foot, your hand, your groin, you still have so much emphasis on your mid-back to basically hold on to that movement pattern, especially in the eccentric and stretch position. So you're gonna get a tremendous amount of stimulus right up those spinal erectors, even though it's not a traditional like super heavy rack pull or something of that nature. And I think a lot of people also forget too, like this is men's physique. If he does a shit ton of super heavy deads and rack pulls, inevitably you're gonna start to build out all of those supporting muscles through your waist, through the lower back. And so if you can actually build the mid back, lower lats, and actually take a little bit of lower back out of the equation, it's inevitably going to give you even better extreme, even more pop, because as your waist widens, unfortunately, you just lose a lot of that like taper that is so beneficial for bodybuilding. So I'm not saying don't do rack pulls, don't do deadlifts, but within the confines of like, do some of this too, so that we can get that same stimulus without, you know, incorporating a lot of those muscle groups we really don't want to grow as we kind of build muscle around it. Okay, so we're gonna do a crossover kind of high pull. So what's the benefit of this is that when I lean forward, because that vector force is coming cross body, I get an immense amount of stretch through the basically rhomboids, rear delts, and you can even see it as I stretch. You see everything like light up on my upper back, almost striate. Unless I'm too fat, then you won't be able to see that. But then when I pull across, I'm gonna pull with elbows high, lean back, and I'm gonna control that eccentric load, tuck the chin slightly, reach across, forward, stretch, back and squeeze. So elbows are gonna drive about 180 degrees, about parallel to the floor, and then I'm gonna reach high, big stretch, all the way through those rear delts, upper back where we want to develop, and then back and squeeze, exposing the back to tension by opening up at the chest.
We're crazy, but not just that, I know how heavy this is, so I'm thinking like, while he's doing that, bro, like this is fucking heavy on that. That's what people don't understand. Like bro, if I do the real delts, I probably put first one only, maybe two plates. This is how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 3 times more than I usually do. And I'm IFBB bro.
I'm an IFBB bro.
IFBB bro.
And reach
so
across.
Like,
so let the hands fall across even more. You feel that?
Yeah.
And then drive back. That's it right there. Reach as far across as you can. Reach. Yeah, forward. Oh, that looks so good.
That feels good also. I feel kind of like here.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're, like, it's not true. Because like I said, I don't want to get necky, right? Especially with the men's physique guy. I don't want to put this in a bottom position and go more here, because what this movement allows us to do is drive elbows high, while still keeping shoulders down. What we don't want to do is get necky and pull the shoulders up to the ears, because that's where you're going to start to build that thickness in the neck. And thickness in the neck, well, it's like cool in the sense of like, oh yeah, you like look like a meathead kind of thing. It's gonna take away from the aesthetics in both your front and back poses, because we want to build out and more like 3D and not like up and in and make ourselves look more narrow. So this is a great movement for you because it still allows you to get even in those upper spinal vectors, like lower traps, not into the upper trap. All right, last one we're gonna do literally one big super like drop set. So we're gonna go weighted pull-ups, which I think are a tremendous exercise, or weight assisted, sorry. So the reason I love weight assisted as opposed to body weight or weighted pull-ups is because you see when a lot of guys will do weighted pull-ups, they'll just try to get it to the top by rolling their chest over it. Here, by having the knee plate, it allows you to keep the chest nice and proud to the ceiling, nice arch back. So what I do is get a huge stretch, focus on the stretch, drive up, chest opens to the ceiling. I'm gonna get as many as I can at this first weight, which is pretty light in terms of assistance. It's minimally assisted. And then every time I get to failure, I'm gonna have Dorian put it up like through 2 to 3 plates for me, and I'm just gonna go again until failure, like triple, maybe quadruple drop set, finish out the workout. This one's gonna be lats mainly, but on the stretch, we're gonna get up through that teres, right into the armpit, which is something else we need to work on. So just a tremendous like finisher, and this really opens up the back to just that finishing stimulus, very minimal injury risk just because we have the assistance, but also it's just very, very controlled movement with the maximum amount of stretch. So let's set up here. I'm gonna use my grips, strap in here, and I always recommend people use grips for back day. There's no reason to have grip be your limiting factor. Knees here, chest is gonna push forward, big stretch, drive up. But you see with the assistance allows me to keep the chest open to tension and the lats on throughout the movement. If I get 3 plates up, 3 plates more assistance.
To add?
Yes, please.
1, 2, 3.
All right, 3 more up. Last one. Fuck.
Oh my God. Look at his back. He'll probably look in a good in men's physique pose. Back pose. Yeah, oh yeah.
IFBB Pro, head champion, men's physique. It's a failure. So what we're gonna do is both knees up, push the hips as far forward as you can. So you kind of move your knees up a little bit. There you go. I'll push the hips forward.
Okay.
And keep the body forward and pull straight up. That's it right there. Slower eccentric. Stretch. More stretch, more stretch, more stretch, more stretch. Stretch, there it is. Nice. Feel how much more the lats are on by keeping that body forward, hips forward. Puts you into that like dorsal position where you can keep that emphasis all in the back. Nice, last one here.
I feel a little bit of biceps.
Keep that chest open to the ceiling. Try to keep the shoulders forward, shoulders back, chest forward, hips forward. Right there, yeah. The more forward you can be on that, as the weight continues to get more and more assistance, the more you push the weight forward, the more you're gonna keep the back. Feel that?
Yep.
All back, all back, all back. Nice. Keep it forward, just half rep, just half. Right there. 3 more. End of the workout, come on. Hold on this last one, hold it. Right there, hold it. And I'll help you out.
Oh my God. Fuck.
So let's see what this back is looking like post-workout, but you can already see how much fullness we've actually started achieving. You actually see that blood flow that we still have through that mid-back, and even I was seeing so much of that stretch here and through here and through that teres where you just kind of want to fill in right here. It's a little bit more fullness, but you can just see how much, even pumped this is as compared to when we started. And I think just continuing to work on that, a little bit more fullness through here, because through the top line, it's nutty, right? Like here, like there's just so much happening that it almost takes away from how good his back is, which is already very good. But if you have dominant body parts like that, it's the same thing for me. My arms and my rear delts and my delts in general are so fucking bubbly that it actually takes away and makes my lats look a little smaller. So if we can continue to build here, and this is what we're talking about in the workout. This from here all the way through here is actually your traps. So this is, everybody thinks of traps as right here, but he's done such a good job of not overdeveloping this upper trap, which actually runs about here and here, and actually spent more time working on here through here, which is where we want to be. And that's what I was talking about with not doing too much high pulling where the elbow, where the shoulders start to shrug up towards the ears, focusing more on pulling high where the elbows drive back and the shoulders can actually stay down. So we're focusing more on this mid-trap, rhomboid, rear delt region as opposed to that upper trap. So dude, terrific work. I can't wait to see what another year of growth looks like for you. It's already pretty freaky, but it's only, the sky's the limit for you, man. I'm excited to see where.
Just need more workouts with you, bro.
Hey, let's go.
We're gonna develop it, bro.
I live vicariously through this guy. All right, and if you want to get some of the best workouts in the game, you guys know where to go. I've talked about it a lot, but I put my heart and soul into my app, the Aesthetic Academy. So super low monthly cost or annual if you want to get a discount. Go and check it out. You get a free trial, no strings attached. It'd mean the world to me if you just went in there, tried a few workouts, and saw what you thought of it. Full demonstration videos where I walk you through from A to Z how to perform movements, some of the form cues we're walking through Dorian today. So go check that out. Love you guys.